Now, I wish I made an official prediction for the Dubois and Hrgovic fight because on lives in the comment section, I was picking Dubois to beat Hrgovic. And the reason why I picked him to beat Hrgovic is because I think Filip Hrgovic was just kind of overhyped. I think they kind of fed him the right opponents. And in my opinion, he started believing the hype. And that's just my opinion. I thought Zhang beat him because for whatever reason, it seems that his promoters was trying to build him up, right, as the next star. And a lot of people was writing Dubois off. And I do believe, and I still believe, that Dubois' eye injury against Joe Joyce affected him physically. But being that we are in an era where the heavyweight division isn't as talented as it was in the past, you can get away with having an eye injury like that because those type of injuries always change a fighter. We've seen it time and time again. Okay, but after Joe Joyce, Dubois went on a 4-fight KO streak. Now, of course, it's against lesser opposition, but that's what you got to do to build your fighter back up, to build his confidence back up, to have him get back into taking punches, but not against guys that could potentially hurt you, right? And then leading up to the fight against Usyk, we know that he's 4 KOs in a row. So he is proving that he's a formidable opponent for Usyk. Okay? Now, all of us picked Usyk to beat Dubois. There's no secret there. Right? There's no secret there. But I do believe, and I've said it before in my last video on Dubois and Usyk, is I do believe that the shot was legal, the body shot was legal, that it wasn't a low blow, and that Usyk used his high trunks, used his acting skills, used him being a champion, him being the favorite. He used all of that to his advantage, and the referee fell for it. I do believe that. Now, I know everyone is saying, well, he got up and stopped Dubois. He got up and stopped Dubois. Yeah, you could say that. He did get up and he stopped Dubois. But the flip side to that is Usyk stayed down longer than a 10 count. That's the flip side to it, right? So we don't know whether or not Usyk would have still stopped Dubois had the fight had that been called a knockdown. We also don't know if Usyk would have got up if the referee started counting from that body shot. We don't know. But what we do know, as you guys say, we do know that he stopped Dubois after. We do know that Usyk stayed down longer than the 10 count. When you hold your trunks up high, the referee in the beginning of the fight supposed to say your trunks are too high, and he'll tell you where where it's legal at because your trunks are too high. This is a tactic that Usyk has done throughout his whole career, wearing his trunks up high. Now, I'm not taking nothing away from Usyk. Great, it's a good win. Then Dubois fights Big Baby Miller, right? Now, most of us picked Dubois to beat Big Baby Miller. I picked him to beat Big Baby Miller, not only because I think he's a better fighter, but I picked him because of inactivity. He wasn't gonna, he's too heavy. He was gonna get tired, just like the rest of these big heavyweights. Okay, that's why I picked him to beat Big Baby Miller. Now there's a momentum shift, right? There's a momentum shift. Now he fights Hrgovic, who's a decent puncher, is a pretty good puncher, and people are writing Dubois out. And Dubois beat him. Guys, Dubois is a big heavyweight. He's 26 years old. He weighed in at around 245 pounds. I can't remember how many pounds Hrgovic weighed in at. But guys, these heavyweights are too big and they're getting tired quick. They're getting tired quicker. And I can't stress this enough. Okay? If 280 pound Zhang was in the ring that night with a prime Holyfield, with a prime, even Holyfield, I can say Holyfield, but a prime Larry Holmes, he would have tired Zhang out within 4 or 5 rounds. Why? Because of not only volume of punches, but the movement, the jab, throwing a bunch of punches and moving out of the way and constantly moving, being elusive. These heavyweights, they're just too big. And Filip Hrgovic in this fight got tired way too quick. Way too quick. You understand? He got way too quick because these heavyweights are just getting bigger. And again, time and time again, fighters, these heavyweights, they are not evolving. They are devolving. And some will say, well, Wilder, look at him. He was too light. Wilder had been in those 3 wars with Fury. It's not the same fighter no more. And he's not the type of fighter that fights like Muhammad Ali, that fights like Tony Tucker, that fights like Tyrell Biggs, that fights like Larry Holmes, that fights like Michael Spinks. He's not that guy. He doesn't have those skills. So a lot of people had wrote out Dubois. And the narrative is that he's not ready for Anthony Joshua. Well, that's what the fans are saying, but it looks like that's the next fight. Because if Anthony Joshua beats Dubois, it gets him closer to the the bigger championship belt instead of this interim belt, right? And the narrative is, well, Anthony Joshua is afraid of punchers. They're trying to move him away from punchers. But a lot of you guys were saying that Ngannou was going to knock him out. Isn't he a puncher? A lot of you guys were still saying that Wilder stylistically can beat AJ. I even said that. Stylistically, Wilder has a chance of beating AJ. I've even said that. I don't think he could beat AJ, but stylistically, the right hand, if it's the old Wilder, it's a definite 50-50 fight. And he's a big puncher. But now that Wilder lost, you guys are not saying that Anthony Joshua didn't want to fight any punchers. But he was going to fight Wilder coming up soon. Dubois has 20 knockouts out of 21 fights. He's a puncher. And in my opinion, this is a 50-50 fight, ladies and gentlemen. Dubois and AJ is a 50-50 fight. You understand me? AJ had 3 confidence builder fights. I believe it was 3 after the Usyk fight. And Dubois had his confidence builder fights, and then he lost to Usyk, which again, I still believe he won. He would have won 7 fights in a row had he got the win against Usyk. And you guys know that that was a legal shot. And I wish a lot of you Usyk fanboys would just man up and admit that that was a legal shot. Because had that been the other way around, you Usyk fans, and especially you racist ones, would have talked all this nonsense about Dubois being a black fighter and Dubois getting special privilege because he's a black fighter and so on and so on. So cut the crap. But Dubois is definitely a good opponent for AJ. And yes, I would like to see all these guys mix it up. Zhang and AJ, Dubois and Zhang. I want to see Zhang fight Parker again. Everyone is saying, oh, Zhang should fight AJ. Zhang should fight Usyk. He needs to fight the guy that beat him last first. Get his revenge. That's what he needs to be doing. AJ made his way up. Now it's his turn. He's going to fight Usyk. He's going to fight Dubois next. And that is a great fight. It's a good fight. And I believe it's a 50-50 fight. It is. Because everyone is... It's funny how it's no longer a 50-50 fight, yet depending on who the opponent is, AJ is not the same anymore. AJ is not hungry. AJ is chinny. AJ is gun shy. AJ is too bulky. He's slower. He has too many muscles. He's not mentally the same anymore after losing to Ruiz. All this is what you guys say. But now that he's going to fight Dubois, all of a sudden you guys have flipped in the script. And to me, it just doesn't make any sense. How come him and Dubois isn't a good... Dubois is up there in the heavyweights elites right now. Because prior to beating Hrgovic, a lot of you boxing fans was considering Hrgovic this elite fighter. And he beat him by TKO. Dubois beat him by TKO. And you guys were saying that a lot of you guys were saying AJ was ducking Hrgovic. I guarantee you Anthony Joshua would have beat Hrgovic exactly the same. I guarantee it. But that's just speculation. We would have to see it happen. So I think that it's a 50-50 fight. And I do believe that the winner out of this fight should fight the winner out of Fury and Usyk. I do believe that. And a lot of you guys saying, oh, well, AJ fought Usyk already. So what? Throughout history, fighters fought guys more than twice. You know, fighters fight more than twice. Heck, if AJ and Dubois fight and whoever wins, if they decide to have a rematch with each other, so be it. There's nothing wrong with rematches. Dubois has made his way up there. Anthony Joshua made his way up there. We are in a generation when as soon as a fighter loses, you guys write off his career. It all depends on the way they lost. But right now, what I'm seeing is Anthony Joshua worked his way back up and Dubois worked his way back up. A lot of you guys is just surprised that Dubois is where he is right now. That's all it is. You guys are just surprised. Hey, listen, he lost to Joe Joyce. It happens. The old cliche, styles make fights. You understand? For all we know, Joe Joyce, he got knocked out twice by Zhang. Dubois probably could beat Zhang for all we know. We just have to see them fight, but we don't know. But styles make fights. And right now, I do believe that Dubois has proved himself and made his way to this level of where, yeah, now it's time for me to fight the quote-unquote big dogs. And the first big dog is Anthony Joshua. And I think that's a 50-50 fight. And it's a good fight. It's a good fight. And it's going to be an entertaining fight. Two big heavyweights with knockout power. No one thought that Dubois was going to stop Miller. And he did. No one thought Dubois was going to stop Hrgovic. And he did. I thought Dubois was going to win both of those fights by a decision. I didn't pick stoppage. And he stopped both of them. And he's on a momentum right now. And I wouldn't be surprised if he beats AJ. I wouldn't be surprised at all. He's younger than AJ. He's big just like AJ. And he's strong just like AJ. And it's a good fight on paper. It's a good fight for the boxing fans. It really is. So shout out to Dubois for proving himself and proving the doubters wrong. Proving all these Filip Hrgovic fanboys out there wrong. And this isn't the end for Filip Hrgovic. It's just one loss. He could come back just like Dubois. He could come back just like Joseph Parker. Let's not write these guys out just because they lost once. This is the MOBC, my own boxing community.